There's somebody that told me categorically that there's no way you want to make it legally. He said you must do fraud to make it. But the person has been doing fraud for about 5 years and 6 years, and the highest thing he has is a Lexus. So I know people, I know painters that can buy clean that Lexus, they can buy 3 sound and they will not move.
So love you to tell us, what is your biggest single contract ever?
Okay, let's say around 15.2 million. You want to leave your camera? At a point, I became depressed at home. Why would I be sitting at home and I'm not doing anything? Good Life Painters as a brand started in 2019/2020. Your mind has to be worked on. You saying you want to grow a company begins from your mind.
What pushed you to sharing what you know with other people?
I say it every time. A life that does not impact others is not worth living. Every industry man must have children. Every industry man must want the industry to grow. The painting industry in Nigeria is experiencing a revolution because of certain men. There are 2 types of painters. There are painters that do painting for skill, and there are painters that do painting for business. But why are they not making the money? It's because you have only the skill. So if you do any business with just the skill, you suffer. You must now go deep and dig deep into the business of it. If you want to remain poor, you remain poor. But if you want to skill up in every business, there's always a way. The society actually is affecting people. So I believe it's a mindset thing. There's a situation currently with the Olodo uprising thing.
Alright, thank you very much, Mr. Good Life, for having us here today. Thank you very much. Alright, so formally, before we begin, we would love you to do a brief introduction of your name, where you are from, and what you are doing currently.
Alright, my name is Ogidas Odebel, MD Good Life Painters, proprietor Good Life Painting Institute. I'm a painter, a proud painter, a professional painter to be precise, who has no painting from just the basics to professionalism. Yeah, so that is me. I'm based in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. From Benin City to the world here.
So, let's go into the podcast properly. So, we'd love to know, before we start diving in, how you will use a paintbrush to create a complaint. So, we'd love to know, we'd love you to take us back to the very, very beginning, the onset of where this all started from. How you started this company, what gave you the vision, the push to start this company?
Good Life Painters as a brand started in 2019/2020. I was in 200 level in Uniben. I just got into 200 level. It was the COVID-19 break. Yeah. So at a point I became depressed at home. Why will I be sitting at home and I'm not doing anything? So it just occurred to me. One day I took a paint and my late cousin and I, but we were at home. Somebody came to paint my mom's room and I took the remaining paints just to roll the wall. And the thing came out beautiful. I said, should I go and develop this thing? Is it worth it? Everybody see painters as poor people. Why will I go and learn painting? I got to a time, I just said, I have to learn. So my other sister paid for my, what's it called? Apprenticeship fee. Everybody call it. I don't call it that. So that is what she paid for it. And I started the class, started going to meet my boss. My boss was a local champion. Every day. He was a local champion. So I started the local way. I had to do apprenticeship. We started doing it and moving. But you go to a time, I became hungry to learn more. I looked at it. There's one thing my coach will always teach me. He will say, in every way you find yourself, look at everybody there. Which of them do you want to be like? So I looked at him. I said, I'm sorry if I continue like this. I might not become what I want to be. So that is when I started seeking for knowledge. Yeah, basically, that is it. That is how it started.
So, we'd love to know, what did, when you wanted to begin this your journey, what did your family think when you went to start? Were they supportive, or what was their reaction? Were they like,
wait, you trust that you don't use this thing? It's job now. Poor people, they do more. Are you sure this is what you want to go into? So what was their reaction? Were they supporting or they kicked against it?
Okay. If I'm to be sincere with you, the only person that was supportive was my elder sister. Why? Because she paid the fees. She paid the fees and did not even believe I would go. Because she felt like this one, not be this kind of life you want to live. Yeah, that's what she thought. But at a point, he got angry and took it as a fight with my other sister that this boy is in 200 levels studying sociology. What does the sociology have to do with rollers? What does it have to do with brush? What does it have to do with painting? Have you ever seen a painter that is doing well, that he will not take his life and say he wants to be a painter? My mom was just there. She's not here, she's not there. I'm my last born, so there's no way she really say something that would discourage me. But it was not in her mind. My elder brother was, this boy, you are not okay. Painting. So I would say my elder sister, because she paid it, yeah. My sister, I'm most grateful to her. She paid the fees. She said, okay, if that is what will make you happy, go and learn it. I cannot forget, it was 20K that I paid. But I paid 15K. I'm still only my boss. That reminds me of everyone paying is 5K. So yeah, that is how I learned. Yeah, so I would say my sister was the only person supporting. That's my eldest sister. The other ones, they were not buying the idea.
So now you have started learning. If you're learning now, your first job that you had as now a painter at Lance, did you remember how much you were paid? And that money you were paid, did it encourage you to like want to continue this business, or you're like, not like this, I want to continue my life, or I go easy another thing? So can you tell us your first job?
I kept that my first payment in my heart forever. The money they ever paid me in painting was 5,000 naira.
Wow, 5,000.
Yes, for a room. So my boss did not, he has not done the design before, but because by God's grace I'm a fast learner, I went to learn the design in my house and I did not tell him I knew how to paint. So I now took my eldest boy that time. So two of us went for the job. They paid me 5,000 and I gave him 2,006. I took 2,400 naira. And I got to my mom took the video and say, see my Pekino, he's not painting. In my mind, you that said I should not learn painting. You are the one that is not bragging with me. So that is it. The first job they ever paid me was 2,000 and was 5,000 and 2,400 got to my hand. I paid him 2,600 and inside the 2,600 I still bought him food. Wow. But I was very happy. So that earlier stage too, one of the things that really broke my heart then was a classmate of mine. The owner of this podcast was also my classmate. But there was one of us I worked for. I went to paint his room. I was just rolling his wall. He just looked at me saying, "So you want to do?" He was like, I got home that day. I was really sad. I was like, which year? With somebody Ghana 225 on our bank. Which year? So, but that was just 2020, and by God's grace, from 2020 now, I bought 2 cars.
Wow.
2 I bought. So, yeah, no matter how small it is, but I bought 2. But that's what I was thinking, which day will somebody buy a car? I bought 2 and I've done things in these few years. So I'm grateful to God. Yeah.
Now let's move to the next segment. Now, the decision to build. Now, there's a massive difference between learning a skill to get job and having that skill to build a company. So at what points in your career do you decide that this skill, I don't want to just be using it to like get 225. I want to establish a company. I don't want to just be I'm a painter. I want to be a CEO. I want to establish a company where people can come. People also come to learn and come to do other things. So at what point did you reach that decision?
I believe decisions are blessings of you calling yourself to order. I was painting and just doing the mere painting job until got to a time, that's like just few years ago. I think it was 2023. I sat down and I was like, yes, before 2023, I started getting some jobs by God's grace. I started painting some full houses. But it got to a point I was like, even the 5K now transferred to 100,000, now transferred to 150. But I was just like, if we continue without a name, then we might drain up. So me saying I wanted to go build a company was not the day I registered CSE. There are many people who have registered CSE and don't know the reason of why they registered it. They don't know the use of it. So it was one day I called myself in 2023 and I started building structures. Currently, I'm not in Benin City and my projects are running swiftly and smoothly. No call. Yeah, I can be away from Benin 6 months and I will still earn my money. clean and sound. In fact, I've been away from Benin 1 month and we've done 4 projects in different states and I've not gone there once. So that is how it is. If you want to just do it on your own, the time I decided to build a company was when I began to bring people into it. So you cannot build a company as a one man. It is when you now begin to sublet, you now begin to draw structures, you now begin to build division of labor into it. That is when the thing can grow. So I began that in 2023, 2024, when I started bringing applicators into it and the rest. So basically, that was when I kicked off. And the year I said I must build a company. That was 2023/2024. Yeah.
A lot of when you decided that okay, I want to build a company, was there any points along the line where you were scared about if I take this decision, I'm not sure my career is not going to take a U-turn or is going to have a key like was there any point where you were scared or you're having the thought of backing out from establishing a company instead of just following the normal path of using the career or the skill to just get you a normal job?
Yes, there was a time which I thought, this thing is not going to work. Imagine me, I will paint 100,000, 150K, and I want to be paying salary of a secretary like 20,000, 30,000. Where will I see the money? That was the mindset. So you saying you want to grow a company begins from your mind. Your mind has to be worked on. You understand? So there were times, definitely. There was a time I even did not go to painting job for a while. I was like, with this 100,000 because they say human wants are insatiable. I was like, this 100,000, this one I want to that grow and go and meet to name Elumelu. Is a lie? Dangote did not start like this. You cannot tell me his uncle gave him 5,000 or so. And that 5,000 man is about 5 million. That's what I was thinking. I said, I don't have a pa. Is it my father that will not give me money to one start business? So there was a time I sincerely wanted to back out. So with the help of teachings and with the help of mentors, my coach too, I was able to still stand back.
Okay, that is very, very beautiful, very inspirational. And power heroes out there that are also learning this skill and you want to also scale up to own a company. I believe you were able to say, so please listen. And also, now let's talk about your training institute. You would not just establish a company with a brush, or you also establish a training institute, a school. I must confess, I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed. Now, I want to ask you, what's pushed you to establishing a training institute? Because there are many people with your skill out there, people that are skilled like you, even more skilled than you, but they don't have this mind of sharing their knowledge. They don't want people to know what they know. But what pushed you to sharing what you know with other people?
So I have this motto, which I tag the motto of my life. I say it every time. A life that does not impact others is not worth living.
Wow.
A life that does not impact others is not worth living. Why will you go through these earths without bringing people? If your father and your mother did not give birth to you, you will not be here today. So if we don't give birth to our kind, then the industry will be shaking. I'm a proud industry man. We call ourselves industry men. So every industry man must have children. Every industry man must want the industry to grow. The painting industry in Nigeria is experiencing a revolution because of certain men. My mentor, Big Sam Owen, is there doing great things. Currently, I'm under his tutelage. I'm a mentor to other people too. So is this quest for the industry to continually grow? And is this quest to continually make impact? Because if I was not doing painting, I would be sincere with you, maybe I would have been into fraud. Is the truth. But since I see that the things that they get from fraud, even if we might not be able to get everything, but we are comfortable doing it legally. Last year, this award was from the painting faculty, which is one of the biggest brand place and recognition of painters in this country. I got this award from them here in Benin. I've never seen or sat down for 1 week with my mentor and I got this recognition. He said the little he knows, he teaches. I was just doing my thing on TikTok and I didn't know somebody was PA. the number one painter in the whole of Nigeria. So I got this award. So it's this quest to teach. The reason why I went back to school now again to get a master's in painting is because I want to know more. So I don't teach old ideas. This morning I'm very happy. Why? Because one of my students who has never gotten a kind of contract before, I helped him to structure, I put him through on how to get a project, and he got it, and he got paid this morning in millions. So he might not give me anything, but I'm proud that this particular person has been saved because of me. He has been impacted because of me. That he will be able to live, that he can do that project and maybe get a land or get something. It was through me. From last year to this year, I've trained over 15 persons. And I can say over 10 are doing sound. Before I opened an institute, I trained a female painter, which currently she's going to graduate from Uniben this year, and she paid all her fees herself. It is. You cannot say she should go and do prostitution. She has money. Go and do hook up or hook down or hook side. She does not need it. Why? Because she's established. I have friends in school who are doing sound. I am running a 6-month training now, and I have painters who come from Abuja every week for the next 6 months of their life, and they fly every weekend to and fro. And they don't feel the cash. They are wealthy. So why will I say I have to now do negative things to make it? Which I see people are doing. I'm an inspiration to people. No matter how small they are, I'm an inspiration. So one of the things we are doing, or one of the things we are pushing, is impact. So that is my biggest drive. I don't care you getting something, you don't come in, you don't get. I know that is not my business. But the fact that you're impacting, I'm good.
All right, definitely. Now, there are some people that say that training other people is like you creating your own competition. What do you have to say to that?
See, it's true. You know what? A master is a master. If he decides to continually be a master, he'll be a master. It's when he feels he has known enough that the little ones will override him. The prayer of every father is the child should be better, right? In this business, I might not say it's like that, because if I bid for a project and my student bid for a project, I will not say because my student I should leave the job for him. Never. He's my competitor, but I'm a master. My mentor taught us something one day. He said him and his students accidentally they met at the site for digging. The student was calculating, and the student saw him and said, "Please leave the job for me." It's better than leave the job for you. I joke. Before the student finished calculating, he has played what they call site politics. Before the student came, they were finalizing his payment.
Wow.
And he called him after some days and dashed him some hundreds of naira. A master is a master. So you cannot say because of that, you don't need competition. If nobody is competing with you, the business will not be sweet. You will not be driving, you will not be pushing. That's why you see masters, no matter how they know. My mentor was telling us some days ago, he said, he slept 3 a.m. that morning, and another day he slept after. Well, what is he doing? He's reading. Somebody will ask me, why did we go back to artisan school? I went back to artisan school month end. Before I got to artisan school, 4 days before I rounded up my master's degree. So I'm literally doing 2 degrees once. Why? It's because we want to constantly impact. It's because we want to be at the top forever. I don't believe that at a point, a student will override you. You people can be almost be in the same place, but there's still something you pass in with, and it will be great to you that you made a climb to that place.
And that is if you, the tutor, is also open to it.
Yes.
Because they're saying that the day you stop learning, say you start guy, and there's some people there's some tutors that feel that, okay, because now you're pouting on people, I already know too much. I don't think I should learn anymore again. So I think if there are tutors like that, then there is every possibility for the student to overshine and the master.
So if you are not ready to learn, you die. So when a man dies, it's not the day he dies an actual death. The day your students, the people you have trained, they now begin to give you food, you already died. So for you not to get to that situation, you constantly learn, because you already have an edge over them. So the current position you are with the speed or timing, they are supposed to maybe take 2, 3 years, 5 years before they get to that place you are currently. And before they now meet you 5 years, what have you been doing? If my students stay with me every 1 hour, I must teach them something new. It might be something you already know, but I'll teach you one or two things. Okay, this is what I learned. Let's do this like this, and let's do this like this. And good. They will always be at the top. But if you feel you are okay, it will die you. There's nothing you do about it.
Now let's talk about the money reality, because the truth is that everybody tries to avoid the money aspect in every industry. It will be like it's not all about the money, but the truth is it's about the money. It's about the money because you have to pay bills, you have rent, you have to feed. It's always about the money, but we try to like avoid the money talk. Now, many people see painting as a poor man business. Like it's for poor people. It cannot take you to the cannot painting job cannot take you to be part of the 1% of the 1%. Yeah. So now I want to ask you, as someone that has been inside this industry for some years now, for quite a while, is so what is painting like? What is the money like in the painting industry for someone that is doing the job properly?
Painting has been assumed to be a poor man's business. Then I'll give you a funny example why I said then. I have a boss that I respect so much that uses a GLE and is a painter. That is one of his cars. He has a penthouse in Abuja. But he's a painter. So will you say he's a poor man? No. There are two types of painters. There are painters that do painting for skill, and there are painters that do painting for business. If you do painting as just a skill, you suffer. But if you do painting as a business, you make good money. So when you are talking about doing painting as a business, you talk about competency, which is a combination of your skill, your character, and the way you behave with people. There are many painters there are some applicators I have that have been painting since 30 years. And we're sorry to say, it's not to mock them. Many of them, they don't go have a house. They cannot rent a proper house to stay. But they be painting. But do they know this key? Yes. Those men can hang brush on they can hang their hand brush on a mop stick that some people call extension and drag this thing, and it will be straight without tape. But why are they not making the money? It's because you have only the skill. So if you do any business with just the skill, you suffer. You must now go deep and dig deep into the business of it. That is why I can be somewhere and I will not go anywhere for a 30 job. I'll just be in my bed and I will get some cash, free cash. But you see the applicator that will go and do the job, he will not get such. And you must learn hierarchy in every business, not just the painting. If you remain as a journeyman, there are people who call journeyman the painting, those men that you had to go and do a job. If you remain there, it's not the money that a journeyman will get that a subcontractor will get. It's not the money a subcontractor will get that a contractor will get. It's not the money that a contractor will get that a general contractor will get. It's not the money that a general contractor will get that a consultant will get. This is hierarchy in painting. The consultancy is the highest rank you can go in painting. So you must continually go for knowledge. You must continually seek mentorship and grow, or else you'll be stagnated. And a stagnated man is not a rich man. So that's it.
For example, you said if you continue to be a journeyman, okay. For example, if everybody is upscaling, if everybody is upgrading, will there now be like a journeyman that you as a contractor now can add to go and do your distance? If everybody is a contractor, who is going to be any journeyman?
If somebody asked one day that if all the shoemaker leaves, who will polish your shoe? If all the shoemaker leaves, everybody will establish a company, right? See, there are still bigger companies that will give the younger companies job. I don't know whether you understand. If everybody now have a company, see, some companies are here, like I am as a company. There are companies that we are loyal to that still give us job. You understand? So if everybody of skill will become wealthy, so we are pushing something in the painting industry currently on how to take what we call plain painting in square meters. So when you can now take painting in square meters, you become wealthy the more. Yes, you become wealthy. Imagine you are doing 1,000 square meters and they are paying you 2,000 naira per square meter. But you do a job and you just walk away with 2 million, and maybe from that 2 million you pay your journeyman like 700 or 800. You as a contractor, you take 1-2 home. The first car I ever bought, the person that did the job did not get the money. I did not do the job. I did not stay in the site. I only pointed the site to him, sincerely. I pointed him there and I went back. I was going back home and I took the savings I added into it. That day I bought a car. You understand? So everybody should grow. And let me still tell you the truth. There is no way everybody will grow and will not stay out journeyman. Because some people sincerely don't want to grow.
They just want to remain where they are.
They are just okay. You know that for us, star painters, journeymen, they don't look for job now. They are waiting for you to call them to work. But we as contractors, if we don't hear from our clients, sometimes we'll not message them, client, sometimes you send a package. Maybe they ask that they don't want to paint before, they'll paint it by force. They will become dirty in their eyes because of honor that you have honored them. But the journeyman don't care. It's only to tell him that how far you are traveling next week to Asaba, gather your boys, and he's happy. You will run there. Yes, he does not care. He's just looking for free thing to come and eat. So there are people who are sincerely satisfied there. My mentor will tell you, if it's there you want to die, just stay there and enjoy the money you want to get there. But if you know you cannot scale up, nobody is begging you. We're only preaching it to you, but we are not forcing you. So that is it.
So we'd love you to tell us, what is your biggest single contract ever? You don't have to give us the exact figure, just a sense of scale.
Around 14 plus.
14 million.
I think, was it 40? No, around, I think currently, first single, okay, let's say around 15.20 million. I will leave this. You want to leave your camera?
Wow. Wow.
But you know when you say
This industry is like very, 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 very underrated. Like
Yes.
very underrated.
Yes.
And there are people that would want to actually go into this industry. There are people that want to actually let the skill out and be like, what people will talk. What they'll call you raising it like poor man, like poor boy. Add upon the reason and you can get a single job
See,
of 14
do you know
something million.
do you know that amount I mentioned was for materials and everything? Do you know what my mentor told us one day? We were just saying, he said he's playing with a job currently. He said it's just because he is not so busy. Like he told his boys to do the job, that the workmanship is 13 million.
That is for his service.
Just service charge. I say, sir, you are playing with it. He said, he was teaching us something last week, and he was teaching us about industrial coatings. He said there's a kind of industrial coating you do, and your profit from the job will be around 60-70 million for one project. I told you that a painter bought a car, a GLE.
Yeah.
It's not 13 million. No. What is it? Why are you sad all of a sudden? Why are you having mood swings? He said, this life no balance. I said, life balance. No worry, what thing happen? And he told me, he said, he was just on his own. We were donating money to do after party. He said, and he went to somebody, transfer money. The money is 2K. The person told him, God forbid, I cannot sell you 2K. I don't used to do 2K transfer. Let me send you 20K. And I said, okay, because it's pride. The person now opened his OPay, and the OPay was reading about 27 million. Just for pay. He was not asking me. He said, that much will not be in the man's business account. I said, you don't kidnapper. Better respect yourself at the training process. He said he was looking at the man, that the man cannot even do what they are teaching us. I said, hey, go and die with the skill now. Don't go and ask him. Go and meet him to teach you the business. As at 2020, I know a painter who had 6 houses in Lagos. 6. But you will never know if he does not take. As at 2019, 2020, he was already using a car about 9 million. This person is not from a rich background. He's just a painter. Just a painter. So some people will be like, no, they are adding things to it. It's a lie. Go into the interior field. See somebody like Dreams Interiors. When he's getting a car, he gets a brand new. Those people are inspirations, and those are my kind of inspiration. I have female who are sound in interior design, in painting. They are doing very well. I have a friend currently, I met her in school, and she's so amazing. They call her Kogi female painter. She's sound. Only our first account has about 40 something thousand followers. Another one has about 37,000 followers. You want to tell me that she'll be doing job of 500,000? Seeing her is a privilege. It's a privilege. So that is it. If you want to remain poor, you'll remain poor. But if you want to skill up in every business, there's always a way. So it's people that don't pick the way. That's why they remain small. So that's it.
I made mention of something before that there are people that would not or actually learn the skill, but they would look at the skill as something that is undervalued. They are just these skills, they are something that this youth can engage in that can make them comfortable. Like if it is something that they can learn for like 6 months or 3 months, if they are fast learners, that and make them like a bit comfortable, then if they choose to further their knowledge in this script, it can definitely provide for them, their family, their next generation, and generation to go. The reality of today is that majority of these youth, they ran away from these jobs. Now, what do you think and encourage them to embrace learning these skills?
I'll say this and answer it very short. The reason why many of them have still not come to the light is because they are not informed. Many of them are not informed. You understand? Because some of us that still do this, we are not proud enough with it. You see a painter that is still trying but cannot say he's a painter outside. Because he's in the midst of where there are people spending money, he wants to say he's doing another kind of job. He's really not proud to say he's a painter. That is one thing. Then another thing that we are having is the fact that the society actually is affecting people. The society is affecting people. The society is telling us, you see some people who tell you that there's no way you want to make it in this country. There's somebody that told me categorically that there's no way you want to make it legally. He said you must do fraud to make it. But the person has been doing fraud for about 5 years and 6 years, and the highest thing he has is a Jesus. And that's why I know painters that can buy that lasers, they can buy 3 sound and they will not move. They'll do the transfer where they are with ease and buy it. But he will tell you that nobody can make it without. So I believe it's a mindset thing. It's a society thing. That's the society. It's just painful that we don't pay keen attention to these things. You see the society, we pay more attention to a person. There is a situation currently with the Olodo uprising thing. It's true, there are some people, but these people that you see call Olodo, they put effort into it.
True, very, very true.
You see somebody like you call an Olodo is consistent. See, he might be an Olodo online, but he's a businessman inside. You don't see everything there. But why? Why is he not sitting down and not doing anything and believing that it's only fraud that will give him money? He's hustling. You see some people, they are just there. They believe that if you don't fraud, you will not make money. So it's a society problem. It's a societal problem that should be checked. That we should preach it more. That this is me. Not something like this. Like what you are doing is a very good thing. To tell people that these are young people from Benin City that you say people cannot make it from. Maybe I will have to give you some recommendations of some people you should go and interview. Interview my friend like Maya Interiors. Interview my friend like Precious Interiors. Interview these people and you see ladies who are doing fine. Masterpiece by Oma. Interview Pep Interiors. Sit down with these people and they will tell you how much they make. That I said the little change and you will laugh. You will say, hey. These people will mention 500. They will mention 800 for you as change. See, they are not many. If you tell them to show you their account, it's there. Sound. Clean. So them have houses. But you may interview these people and you see that they are doing sound. They are doing great. You understand? It's a painful thing that the society will find ourselves. We don't respect people that are into skill. We don't respect them. We celebrate a person that just comes from nowhere and drives a JK and they are saying, but the person that is doing painting and like, who is this human being? But when you not get to where responsibility plays, you see that you're a joke.
Now, sorry. Speaking about respect, just said now, was there a time that you felt that painters were not respected enough? And how did you handle that?
See, that I was painting in classmate's house and he asked me, I said, you want to live your life. I noticed that period, if he's talking to me, he'll talk to me like a boy. See, with not pride, and I always say this with all humility, I currently can place that boy on salary and I will not default 1 month. I'll pay him 300K every month and I will not default. Because now I cannot dare. So now, why? The money is not there. At least I'm not seeing everything, but I'm seeing change. So the respect has increased. It's because they feel there's nothing good coming out from skill. That's why they don't respect them. You understand? So I believe that is that basically.
Now, what will you tell our young youths, our youths that are out there that want to learn a skill or are scared of what people say? And what are you going to tell them? What's your word of advice to them?
What people will say. If you live your life with what people will say, you will die poor. If you live your life with what people will say, you die poor. I remember when I was just began learning painting, and one of the days, my boss told me, he said, "Oh yeah, go buy fuel come." It was the right care we were painting. He told me to go to Crispin with my painting clothes and go and buy fuel. That day, she nearly killed me. I said I will use my money to enter KK. I said if I try it, I'll go in. I had to trek with my. I saw one guy that used to respect me. The guy saw me that somebody that used to greet me for the guy saw me that day. He greeted me like Afa. The guy give me. I said my life was poor. That was how painful it was. But now, they are not the ones asking you, bro, is there still way? How can I learn? How can so if you say it's because what people will say, then you die poor. Or you say because as a businessman, what people will say, why will I talk about painting? Why will I come outside and what I'm preaching is painting? When my mates are coming outside, they are talking about how they did fraud and made 15 million. You see some people, because of what people will say, maybe they are even into skill. You see them when it's not a right time for them to buy a Lexus, they go and buy it. They did the thing square. They will not sell it cheap article. Change. Because of what people will say. You see people, they are not up to a standard of renting a particular house. They go and rent it because of what people will say. If you live your life like that, then your life will be in default. It will be in error. So that is it basically. Don't live your life with what people will say. Just, I believe in one thing. Listen to God's leading. Do your thing as a good man. Just impact people and your life from it. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that answer. I love this so much. I believe it will actually touch many of you that are watching this right now. Now, let's talk about scaling across Nigeria. Scaling across Nigeria, or rather across Edo State, across Benin City. Now, I can see from what you post for TikTok or other social media that you can't just take jobs within Edo State or within Benin, and you're not taking jobs outside Edo State like Lagos and what's the state? Ogun State, I think other states. Yeah, let's say upon mention right now. So now, what does business teaches you in those states that, like, what did you learn from business in those states that university did not teach you?
Working in other states actually gave me more, will I say, exposure. Working in other states gave me more value. And I realized, I don't know if it's a Benin City thing. I'm still working on that survey. I'm still doing a survey on that. If it's just a Benin City thing that most artisans are not appreciated here. If we are doing a job in Ibadan, I will stay for 1 month plus, and my client paid for the hotel fees for 1 month plus, giving my applicators, my installers, breakfast, lunch, dinner every weekend. It takes them for shopping, and does not price our job. When I was sending them to go, they were saying, they are killing Ibadan, we cannot go. So at some point, they persuaded them and they got there. When they got there, they called me on video call. They said, boss, where on a day? They said, we have shopping mall. I said, I go, okay, which money? They said, sir, don't worry. They said we should pick what we want, what we need. The second week, they called us. They were staying in the hotel. One day I had to run from where I was. I still was staying in the hotel for some days. When I got there, they picked me, appreciated me. I was going back, they paid my logistics, not removing a dime. They don't price your job. If you tell them this job is this amount, they send you the amount. So I don't know if it's a Benin City thing, but I beg, please, Benin City people, we should pay artisans. We should step up. We should not see this skill. It's not, I was talking to somebody and he was saying most painters in Abuja, most painters in Lagos, they will still be wealthier than Benin people. I don't really believe in it, but to an extent, it's true. I believe that what I believe more is work everywhere, not just Benin City. But why is he saying that? In Benin City, these skills are looked down. You cannot tell a client here in Benin that a paint drum is 250,000. He will argue with you, just few. But in Lagos, there are paints that are sold 250,000 per drum. In Benin, I think the highest the lawyers do loss, maybe 168,000 and 185,000. That is how much I buy their silk and the rest. But in Lagos, you see a satin of a normal company, their normal satin is 200 and something thousand. So if you are buying, for instance, 30 drum of that satin and you are going to be buying it, let's say 10 million, then you know that you are not going to pay the painter 1 million. But in Benin City here, they will buy material 10 million and they want to pay you 250,000.
You wanted that.
But in Lagos, you can buy material, and in Abuja, you can buy material 10 million and they are willing to pay you 4 million, 5 million for the job. So Benin City, naturally, they look down at artisans, except the clients that are not exposed. You understand? So Benin City, we should step up. Many value that Benin City artisans put into work, we don't see it. Many value that Edo State painters put and Edo State artisans put into their work, we don't see it, but it is appreciated most times outside Edo State. So that's
Okay, now I would love to ask you, what was the biggest challenge that you faced when you first about to be a job outside Benin City? What was that thing that made you say, oh no, and honestly, I saw work before aside Benin for years?
the first job I ever took outside Benin was Ondo State. Ideally, when I was doing the job, I was very comfortable because that time drop from Benin City to Ondo State was 40K. So I would take a Sienna or relax. They paid me first money, I enjoyed it. Paid me second money, I enjoyed it. It got to a time from drop, I started entering bus. From bus and eating rice on site, started drinking gari. So one of the things I experienced, the first challenge was money management. I thought it's the way you do jobs in Benin, and I could not even bid on the job, but I gave them price for Benin. And it was later, that time I did not understand pedigree of clients. It was later I realized that the person I just painted his house was, the house was actually a palace. And he was the number 2 person in the whole of Ondo State that is respected as a king. If it was now, I know say he be king, I will collect my community share. Yes. I will charge you as a king and give you the king prize. And ideally you will pay because you brought me from my state. So I think one of the things I faced was money management. I could not manage the finance. That almost put me into trouble. But thank God I was able to scale through. So if you are doing any project, I will just give you this advice as an artisan or somebody growing a job. If your base or where you work is just Benin and you are doing something outside Benin, you should seek counsel. Or else you might go wrong.
Okay, so seek counsel from people that are in that place where you intend to go.
Yes.
Or seek counsel from people that are like in other places.
Yes, seek counsel from people where you are going. Because you can be going there, you don't know how the state is. You don't know how their logistics is there. You don't know how their system is. You don't know how they work there. There are some places you cannot work from 7 a.m. You understand? If it's Benin, maybe you can rush the job. So those things alone will help you consider your pricing for the job. That is one thing. Then number 2, seek counsel from mentors. Seek counsel from senior colleagues. People that have been going outside the state, going outside the country to work. They already know how this thing works. They know how it operates. Like my student I was talking about some minutes ago, and I said he got a job today. The job is actually in Ondo State. And I've worked in Ondo State. Ondo State was the first outside job I did. And by God's grace, that is the first one he's doing too. So I've been able to put him through that this place you are going to, this IT, so this IT, so know how you will charge. So there's no way we do that job and go wrong. You understand? So you don't say because you want to do a job, you are eager to. I did a job in Kogi State. I traveled to Kogi State and I had to run and leave my applicators there. You know why? It's not like I did not pay them. First of all, I took 500K for the job. And before we would transport there, 100K left. And initially I said I would pay them 300. I had to beg them, do it 250. I was coming back, money finished. And at the end, after that job, I was getting about 32,000. That was minus my transfer from Park to my house. Imagine how far Kogi State is. I went there and I now I cannot go there and say it's 200,000, 300,000 is my profit. I will not dare it. So I believe experience will still teach more people. But if you are doing a job, like my mentor will tell you, if you have never painted an hospital and you are told to paint an hospital, carry somebody that have painted it before. Because if they go and release one chemical and one person will die in your neck.
Sure.
And you will carry Egbese. You know what Benin people call Egbese? Thank God we are in Benin. So I'll use Benin slang. If there's the difference between trouble and Egbese. If you enter Egbese, you might not come out.
It's very hard.
You might not come out. Just imagine you went to paint and somebody died in your neck because you released ammonia there. Because you cannot be mad and say you want to go and pray. There was a client and I said he wanted to follow me to go and buy material. I said, no problem, let's go. And he was too inquisitive. He was choking his nose in one chemical and he didn't know that the chemical boys were there and they opened ammonia. That minute his eye changed and from there he was admitted. So the things he wanted to go and look at, he could not look into.
He was looking what
That
I
is it. So what you don't know, you ask. Yeah. We are going outside, ask.
All right. So currently, Mr. Goodlight, are there plans to keep expanding to other cities? And if there is, which city do you plan to expand to? Like, which city do you plan to like work on that you like secret because you've not worked on before?
Kid, I've not worked in before. Sincerely, it is funny. I've not worked in Abuja. So please, if you know don't worry, I'm not expensive. I'm affordable. I'm not cheap, I'm not expensive, I'm affordable. So I don't know what's your definition of being affordable. Just know if I come to Abuja, I will calculate my flight. Yeah. So I want to work in Abuja. I need a sound industrial painting project in Abuja. So I intend to work in Abuja. I would have said Lagos, but you said where you have not gone to before. I'm familiar with Lagos. I go to Lagos. Well, I would have loved to move to Lagos and to expand to Lagos. But Lagos is a very strong city. If you don't have energy, you cannot go there. And you cannot go there. Except you want to be flying river every day to Loki. Yes. Few months I've been there. It has not been easy. So, but Abuja, I think Abuja is where I really want to expand to. Yeah.
We have been talking about the good moments, happy moments, and let's talk about the bad moments, the hard moments. Now, normally every business has bad moments. A job gone wrong, a point where a client refused to pay, or the materials that we source for were not enough. Now, want to talk about those moments. What's like kept you going? What did not stop you from saying, this job, I know that this work I never doing it, and that I make you knock on. And what kept you going? What kept the fire going? What kept pushing you forward? And what kept you in those hard moments? Can you tell us?
Most times it's not what you expect that you get. But most of those things or most of those things you just spoke about happened in the early stage of our business. Sometimes once in a while it happens too. In fact, there was a situation some days ago where I was taking care of a job and my client and I, we talked and we agreed on a certain price. But she played me, you know how she did it? Because I did not write. Because I was busy when I had the conversation. That's why I don't do it. But because of the urgency, I forgot to type it because we closed the deal with a call. So I'm supposed to type it and state the particular time and date that we agreed it. When it was about to pay, she removed 200,000 from me. But with communication skill, she was not able to send about 200,000. So it's like that. So with that now discourage you from doing business. Will a man say because his wife did not respect him one day, he should chase her out? There is no responsible. It's not responsible. Because of one situation, you say, I know somebody who is into business and there was a time he had a loan of a bill of over 13 million to pay. But he did not wrong. Yes, there were times when they came to arrest him. There are times when they came to his church to pick him. There was a time they came, they did not see him, they took his wife. But he was still doing business. But should I shock you today? Those old loans is remaining change. And it was cleared in a few years. Why? Because he did not give up. See, I'll tell you something. There are times that most business breakthrough wants to come, there's a shaking that comes with it. It can be from a client. It can be from government. It can be from your own self. But when you can pass that stage, definitely you get the result. So there are times that comes like that. There are times when your client, you have finished a project, you have told your applicators or your installers, I've sent you money, you don't call me again, no? And from nowhere they'll bring in bills. Because that's they say you know this job. There are times where as a brand, I don't go back to a client and tell him, please sir, your money is not enough. That is why when we are doing things, we do it well. And we don't rush and send you a quotation. We are sending you something that no matter what, this thing will pull through. But in the early stage of business, it is prone to happen. It is prone. That is why it's called the early stage. There are some mistakes you should not be making after 5 years of business. That's why you are not responsible.
And once your story, once the good life painter story, wants you to tell us about a hard time that this business faced, like a hard time, a bad time that this business faced. I was often talking about it, just a particular, just a story.
Okay, there was a time, it's not even too far. I think it was last year that we stayed for many months without doing any job. It became so bad that our vendors had to loan us money to pay staff. Do you know how funny that is? I did my secretary is here. She is the first time she will ever hear it. Had to borrow money to pay. We had to borrow to pay her. Borrow money to pay promoter. I had to take a loan from my vendor because he trusts me so well. Shout out to my vendor, Pent Interiors. And let me do a free PR for him in this platform. So he had to give me money so I will pay. My car was 40 at that time. He had to pay for everything with hope of paying back. So there was something that was keeping us. We were just positive that no matter what, something will come. That we are so broke to the extent. This is a secret I don't want to share. We are so broke to the extent that I now knew that you can withdraw a cash back. I didn't know they can withdraw cash back on Money Point. You know, when you have money, you don't know many things.
Yeah.
But one thing I did not do is I told myself that God forbid, never will I be broke to the extent I will use a loan app. I will never date. At that point, it became shaky. I said, God, and I'm very shy. I told one of my interior designer at that period, she was angry. Like, why did you not tell me? That one sent me money. I said, okay, thank you, man. The thing was just so painful that me, because they respect me. And I will not say I'm broke, or will not say as a company, we are withdrawing cash back. There was a time I now had to withdraw cash back to go and take a quotation. But you know the funny thing, there's a God that never sleeps. He never sleeps. I withdraw money from my Money Point. The cashback is not big. And I used it that period when I would do it. I was not doing what you understand the figures that might be going through the accounts for the cashback to be big.
Yeah.
I took that money and I went to the site. You know, I won't go to the site. They called me for one job. I was giving that site, they gave me 3 different jobs.
Wow.
And I cleared that week, we cleared every loan we were in. And that month, I paid my secretary's salary 2 weeks before month end. She didn't understand. I said, never again will you go broke. So since that day, I set it as a benchmark. Since that time, there's no how you will be God forbid, you can never be broke to a company that cannot pay salaries. So that also touched me, and I developed a strategy to which that will never happen.
And that time also it taught you something that even though you're gonna have client for a period of time, you cannot go broke with the extent of not in client. Now I want to ask you a question. When you're going through this hard time, you made mention of you had to loan, you had to borrow money from your vendor. I wanted to ask you if there was anybody that supported you when you're going through this hard time, or you went through it. You've mentioned your vendor. Now, was there any other person that you could run to when you were having this issue, like a friend or someone that you could call on to if you were going through this issue?
See, most times the people you run to when you have issues are the people you go and give to. I don't know whether you understand. As a business person, when there's a shake, most times it's the people you give to that you run to. You don't expect to go and take money from a bank you have not deposited. This person is the person I buy my stock from. Everybody I train go there. I've linked people to him through me with all humility. He does millions every week. So if I'm telling him send me this certain figure, he will gladly do it. His relationship. But in my house, you're calling me big man. Is it my mother that is saying you are a big boy that I want to go and tell to the woman? How will she look at me? Or is it my students that are looking up to me that I'll go and meet? No. So the only person that was there with me when I had that shaking was my vendor and my secretary too. Because I delayed her salary and she did not stop work. Yeah.
She
So
was not grumpy and
she did not even grumble. I told her that please I will pay you. She said, no problem, sir. Yeah, so because that I raised that salary.
wow. Okay, now so looking back at that moment, now what do you think that moment taught you that success can never teach you?
Okay. You need people. You need people. Even to grow to the heights that you want to be, you still need. If I was there alone that time, maybe depression would have killed me.
Sure.
Or maybe because of that, I will have a retake. I say, I beg, let me just turn my car to Uber. Sorry, I'm not saying Uber is a bad thing, but I would have to an extent limited myself. Or let me sell my car. But I knew that no matter the shaking, there's somebody I will run to anywhere. So, yeah, that is it. You need people.
All right. Thank you very much. That's one tool for material you cannot work without.
My brush.
Okay, as a painter, very important that your brush is very, very
Good brush.
So the brush is more important than the paint.
You can have paint and not have brush to paint now. But yeah, you can have paint and you don't have brush to do it. There's almost no painting you do that you don't need brush. Even if you do a decorative design, most times you need brush.
So no brush. That's true. So the brush is the most important.
It's good brush, not what 300 naira brush.
All right. So the next question is, what is that one thing that client does that drives you crazy, that makes you mad? Makes
You don't want to understand complete painting system. The industry has been
marginalized.
thank you. So they don't want to understand complete painting system. So you need to explain. And the money that did not pay you as students, you have to teach them before most of them understand. But it's expected. Yeah.
All right. So the next question is painting or gypsum. Let me ask question again. Oh, I'm pronouncing this right.
Yeah.
Gypsum. All right. So painting or gypsum. Which one do you enjoy more? Or which one do you prefer?
First day is strong. It's the ready to. I'm a specialist. Currently started the job in Asaba and it's just and I know that the painting I will do to have that profit to go take. So I don't know how, but Kai. Painting.
One business book or business person that changed your life forever. That changed how you think.
Is my mentor. We call him Big Sam. Oh man. Yeah. Mr. Sam Owanya is the president's PGN, Proprietary Artisan School for the Creative Painting. He inspiration to almost every successful painter you see in Nigeria. Is our teacher. Is a consultant to all of the biggest pen brands you know in Nigeria. That he gives approval, be approved before they shoot it out to the market. So he's highly respected. He changed my painting career. Yeah.
Complete this. I will know good life painters as truly read it when.
I will know good life painters has truly made it when he has a representative all over Nigeria and in Africa.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Something nice. Thank you for having us here.